Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Mindset, Motivation, and Mastery. I just want to jump on here real quick to talk a little bit about, what numbers you need to know. Listen, we're running into 2021. We've all set our goals. Whether you've done a business plan or not, I would say the majority of us have probably already set goals. We kind of know what our goals are. And and we want to make sure that you're hitting your goals, right? And so here's the challenge: is there's a difference between goal consciousness and action consciousness, right? So goal consciousness is, man, this is where I'd like to be, and this is what it is. And so most of us stop at goal consciousness, right? We go, hey, I want to hit this certain number, I want to make this much money, and all of that. And I mean, that's great. But that just doesn't happen, right? And so looking at those numbers, it doesn't get us to where we want to go. So we need to make sure that we go from goal consciousness at this time of the year straight into action consciousness. So if you have not read the book, I think it's called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. Yeah, it's right there. 4 Disciplines of Execution. It really gets you to understand, what are the 4 things that we need to make sure that we are doing, and in order to kind of hit our goals. It's really getting us into the disciplines of moving forward. So again, let's jump right into understanding what it is that we need to do. And there is a huge difference between our goals and our actions, right? Goal consciousness means that we focus on a destination. It often motivates us, motivates others. It's very seasonal. It challenges you. But ultimately it stops when the goal is reached, which is cool. And then we've got action focus or action consciousness. And that means, man, we get up and what do we do every day in order for us to make sure that we're doing that? So it takes it from the destination that's way out here, and it takes us from the destination that maybe we look at and go, oh, that's such a big place. It takes us from the destination and it drives it all the way back to, man, when I wake up and I get out of bed, what do I need to do? Some of the things that we talked about in the last 2 days, it's about, getting us into that. So today I want to talk and get you to really understand the difference between leading indicators and lagging indicators. Give me a second here. I'm going to try and share my screen. All right. So again, if you haven't picked up the book, 4 Disciplines of Execution, pick it up because it's going to talk to you a little bit about how to make sure that you're executing on the things that you need to do in order to hit your goals. One of them is understanding these 2 principles. Is understanding leading indicators versus lagging indicators. See, often our goals are really focused around lagging indicators. How many transactions we need to do, what's our closed sales volume, and what's our total GCI. Ultimately, those are amazing numbers, but sometimes those numbers are big, especially in this time of the year. I've got people that I coach, and they're looking at doing hundreds of transactions. And at this time of the year, when we see, oh, we've got 30 in pending, they go, oh my gosh, that's such a big jump. And they often get fearful, and fear creates paralysis. And when fear creates paralysis, we don't do the things that we need to do. So what we need to focus on isn't the lagging indicators. We've already set those. Those are set. Those are there. We've got conscious awareness around where we want to be, but now we need to get creating clarity around what that means. And leading indicators are something that we control over, because ultimately we don't have any control over lagging indicators. We don't ultimately have any control over how many transactions we do, how much sales volume we do, how much total GCI we do. You don't have control over those. What you have control over is the leading indicators or the leading actions that you need to do to hit those. So I want you to get really clear on understanding, how many hours of power do you need to go on, or you do this year, in order to set so many appointments, right? And a leading indicator, you can control appointments. If I said, hey man, sit down, and I don't want you to get off the phone or off your email or off your text messages or off whatever until you set a buyer appointment, then you could sit there and do it, right? So we're in control of that. We're in control of how many conversations we have around real estate. So this time of year, not going to keep you on here for long. I want you to really sit down and look at what is my commitment to how many hours I'm spending a week in lead gen. What is my commitment to how many conversations am I having a week with the clients that I'm working with right now? Like, we're super focused on how many buyer appointments do you need to go on a week in order for you to hit your goals? How many listing appointments? What I'm going to challenge you to do is set up a 90-day appointment challenge, whether you do it with yourself or whether you do it with other people in your office. I want you to set up a 90-day appointment challenge, which means, man, if I go on this number of appointments, which means if I go on this many, if I do what I need to do that I'm in control of, then this is where the results are going to come out. Leading indicators versus lagging indicators. A lot of us stop at our goals. So today, it's really just about understanding the difference between what our goals do for us versus the actions that we need to take in order to hit that. Leave this call today, and I want you to set the number of hours of lead gen that you're committed to doing every single day, the number of conversations that you are committed to having every day, and the number of buyer appointments and the number of listing appointments that you're committed to having every day. And as long as you do that, then we can almost, I don't want to say forget the lagging indicators. I don't want you to ever forget them, but I want you to kind of go, okay, if I do this one step at a time, then we're to kind of hit those numbers we want to hit. I think that's kind of really, it about the numbers, but commit to these numbers. Commit to, especially right now. I've reiterated to you in the last couple of days, agents that tend to be behind in quarter one tend to be struggling to hit their goals by the end of the year. For me, my goal is to have all of my clients hit their goals by October. If we can, by the end of October, if they're all on track to kind of hit their goal, then we know that going into the quarter four, that we can work on systems, work on business planning, and then work on building our quarter one numbers, building our January numbers. I can tell you right now, the agents that I work with that are already got enough pending deals in contract to hit their goals are killing it right now because, man, they're super relaxed, super focused, super on what they need to do. All right, guys, hope you have a powerful day. Go out there and kill it. Commit to hours of lead gen, conversations, and your appointments. And I promise you, you're going to hit your goals. Peace out.